Northeast Jiu Jitsu. This is an archive episode. We visited Northeast Jiu Jitsu, the first version of Northeast Jiu Jitsu, when Andy Sill competed on Reap Invitational 2, and we did like a behind the scenes video about how his training was going for his match against James Bullingham. Since then, NEJJ, Northeast Jiu Jitsu, actually moved premises. They've built a pit wall and done all kinds of amazing cool stuff. So all this footage just sat on drives for a little while, and we thought we're just gonna have to go up to the new Northeast Jiu Jitsu and can this, but I quite like the stuff we shot, and obviously the coaching staff hasn't changed, the attitude and the mentality hasn't changed either. So I thought, well, let's revive all that old footage, still make an episode out of it, and we can visit Northeast Jiu Jitsu version 2 in the future anyway. So here we are, Northeast Jiu Jitsu. This is our experience at that gym. Northeast Jiu Jitsu, based in Washington, the one in the UK, not that one. Although Washington DC gets its roots from Washington, UK, as it is apparently the ancestral home of America's first president. But that's not why we're here. We were here to film Andy Sill and get a taste for NEJJ and everything that they offer in the Jiu-Jitsu world. Head coach Ellis Younger is one of the most decorated competitors in the north of England in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Competed at many an IBJJF tournament at the highest level, as well as plenty of sub-only runs, appearances on Polaris and the likes. I've known Ellis for a long time. I used to see him compete on our interclub tournaments back when I was a white belt. I think him and Jordan Cooper, who initially started the gym together, were like blue and purple belts and kind of tearing everybody up. It was funny because him and Jordan both have this almost perfect build for jiu-jitsu where they've got really long limbs and they utilise them really well. Ellis first showed us and Jamie Taylor, our head coach, the kind of arm trap back take technique, and that's something that worldwide, you know, has been recognised as something legit and kind of spread, at least in the north of England, from Ellis and Ellis's coaching. So there's a lot to be thankful for Northeast Jiu Jitsu existing and Ellis getting into Jiu Jitsu and techniques that you might have learned that Ellis has brought over. You know, they grade under Dara O'Connell over at ECJJ in Ireland, which is, you know, Dara's one of the OGs of UK and Irish Jiu Jitsu as well. So you're in good hands. Direct lineage there, black belt to black belt. You know, we went down to film Andy for some highlights for the Reap Invitational number 2, as he was the headline competitor on our card against James Bullingham. But obviously while we were there, we got to soak up the atmosphere for the gym, the coaching style, and everything else that they do in between. And you know, Ellis, quite subdued, very straight to the point in terms of technique, showed some really advanced stuff that we could pick up. They were drilling leg attacks at the time that we were there. Obviously part of the meta of jiu-jitsu and has been for a long time. And you know, on the mats was Andy, who's a black belt, Lexi Rook, his partner, who's a high-level MMA fighter, very good striker, who was obviously tuning up her grappling because she'd moved to MMA, and a ton of other super high-level guys. We saw some crazy rounds in there. They roll at a really good pace, and it was quite nice because we roll at stealth at quite a good pace. So it was nice to see that level of competency, level of cardio, but without, you know, there's no injuries, nobody was hurting each other, everybody was aware of the space, everybody was doing very, very technical stuff. It's one of those gyms where a lot of our guys, especially looking to excel in MMA or train a bit more or get on the sub-only scene, traditionally loads of our guys would go to NEJJ and supplement their training there as well, and they obviously liked that, loved that, liked having people up there to go and train with them. It's a really nice, cool, laid-back spot for that, as well as just being, you know, a super high-level technical gym. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. Very little politics. Everybody just trains. Ellis, at the end of the day, really, after having met him quite a few times, is just a nice bloke who's really, really into jiu-jitsu, and he's obviously a killer on the mats, but a super nice bloke off the mats who just wants to make a living, as we all do, doing jiu-jitsu. We thoroughly enjoyed our time at NEJJ, and we look forward to getting to NEJJ version 2. Apparently they've built a pit wall. It'll be cool to get some rolls in and test that out as well if they'll have us. So yeah, look out for version 2 of NEJJ. This is our experience of NEJJ version 1.